Water bomb. Hi guys, it's been a while since we talked, since July, and I have this big pile of stuff that I would love to show you. So let's get started. Things about this video. I am recording this on my DSLR camera that I don't normally use for video purposes because it shuts off like every 4 minutes and it doesn't exactly warn you when it's going to do that. Super annoying. So I'm gonna try my best to not make this a big choppy mess. But it's driving me crazy to not have a flip screen. I just can't do it anymore. I don't know where to hold things. I can't tell when this camera is focusing, so I'm giving it a whirl. Second thing, I'm sitting in my squeaky desk chair. So I'll try to sit still. Third thing, I have a lot of plastic packages to open. So if you're bothered by noise, I'm sorry. And if you're excited by noise, this is the place to be. So the first thing on my pile is my Song of Solomon ship sampler. It looks like this. This was stitched by Annie Clark. And I'm finally over my color paralysis problems with this. I'm choosing my own colors. Not all of them worked out. Some of them got put in and then rejected, but I'm finally in the flow. So here's my border. I am rounding the last corner. And this is wrinkled. All my whips are wrinkled. Didn't have time to get the iron out. You don't care, do you? I love how this is looking. The designer, Robin Melia, finally has this up in her Etsy shop for a, in my opinion, cheap price because this is a great pattern. So I will link that down below. I'm excited. I'm excited to get to my ship, although I know I'm going to have issues picking out the color. I don't know. I might have to like Instagram poll that one because that is going to be hard. Okay, the second thing in my pile is a rack from Jo, Vintage Chic Stitcher. She sent me her well-loved Psalm 100 pattern. Thank you so much, Jo. She sent me her extra floss too so that I can, you know, color match the floss. So I'm excited to put this in my stash. If I need to grab a new whip that is backstitch insane, this is the one I'm gonna go with. So thanks, Jo. Alright, moving on. Let's talk about Andora Screw. I adore this pattern. I adore the final piece. I thought that this piece would be annoying in the fact that there are so many tiny, teeny motifs. I mean, it's just nothing but motifs, and some of them are larger. I'm sorry, I keep looking at my screen, which is like miles from the camera lens. I'm getting used to this, I'm sorry. This whole like seeing yourself, it's like such great technology. I'm not used to it. Yeah, thought it would be annoying. It's not annoying. Some of them are annoying. The cardinals were annoying because they did have like 8 colors in them and they're tiny, but it's perfect in the fact that if you have 5 minutes, you just do a little tiny doodad, like one of these. If you have, you know, a giant movie to watch, you do a bigger tree. It's just perfect for any time you want to stitch. This is perfect. Other than the fact that it has 103 or 130. It has an insane amount of colors in it. Like my DMC collection, yeah, like I had to take out 1/3 of it to kit this up. It's crazy. But here's where I am. On the top, I went over to the big tree. So the big tree in the middle is going to be right here. So this is 2 pages and a half. I love this. I love watching Brian build his forest too. His is looking great. Looks just like mine. And Dee is going to start this. She says she's going to start this in the new year. So stay tuned to the end of this video. You might get to build your forest on me. Hint, hint. I love this. I'm so glad I started this. I really was hesitant, but it's so pretty. And I have charted out the perfect verse for the big tree. It's perfect. I'll show it to you when we get there. Next is my Give Up. Jimmy Flosstube, I think that's what he calls them. Give Up. So Jimmy, this Give Up is dedicated to you, my friend. Just know, I'm not doing it anymore. 2 reasons. Number 1, I don't think I'm a full coverage stitcher. I just don't. I tried, and I'm glad I tried because I would try at some point. I think they're gorgeous. I love watching people do them. I love watching progress. They're not for me, not at this stage of life anyway. It's just frustrating to me to spend so much time and see so little progress. Battery's going. See you in a minute. I'm just going to do another water bomb. Do it with me. Do you guys watch Stitching Ryan? He doesn't watch Flosstube, so I know he's not going to see this. But in one of his videos, he said, feel free to take a shot every time I take a drink of water. And I thought that was so funny, because he was serious. I didn't participate, but if you did, I hope you had a good time. Anyway, back to this. Yeah. Number 1, not a full coverage stitcher, and I'm glad that I've discovered that so that, you know, I'm buying less things. Second thing, I'm not happy with the definition of how this pattern is going out. So I have these 2 people done. Man in Top Hat has a slightly yellow face, and this is, you know, you look at the paintings and they all have different colors. Colorations. This is the image that was provided to me with the pattern. Mr. Top Hat does have a yellow face, so yeah, he has like a neon yellow face, and you know, you really can't tell that it's a person, so that kind of bothered me. But then I moved on to Mrs. Sitting like this, and she has this lovely little bow on her hat, and you should be able to tell that it's a person. And I think this looks better in the camera, but I wasn't happy with how her bow came out. It's just chunky looking. It's not defined. This is all stitched in. I'm just not happy with how it's looking, and because I don't enjoy it, I'm giving up. And I am so thankful that I don't know how many hours that I have plunged into this piece. You know, look how big it is. And this, I don't even want to try to guess how long this took me. When the piece is going to be this big. So yeah. Done. Giving up. Let's move on. I got to stop by a sort of not really local LNS. I hardly ever get to an LNS. This one is 3.5 hours away. It is Fancy Works in Ellettsville. I had so much fun with my mom. We spent an insane amount of time looking at every single thing for sale in the entire store. Not kidding. We had fun. I could have done some real damage to the wallet, but I only ended up picking up 2 patterns. I ended up giving my wish list to the owner, and I think it was the owner, and saying, hey, what do you got? I'll buy any of this stuff. But she didn't have a lot that I had been looking for. Didn't have a lot of Barbara Anna, didn't have any long dog sampler patterns, or I'm pretty sure my husband would have not been happy with the amount of money I would have spent. But I picked up 2 patterns. This is the Prairie Schoolers Fables and Tales. I picked it up for this one, The Owl and the Pussycat. I love The Owl and the Pussycat. I love that poem. I think it is so endearing, so cute, and this is an adorable pattern that would be easy to change the colors for a quick baby gift. I've been looking for something smaller that I could bring to a baby shower that would be relatively quick and not a gigantic baby sampler, because you know you don't do those for everyone. But this summer I've been going to baby showers and wedding showers like it was my part-time job. I don't know what's in the water around here, but people can't stop celebrating things. So, and I'm not kidding about that, like 6 or 7 baby/wedding showers. I'm broke. This is a new pattern by Rosewood Manor called Wise Owl. I'm sorry, I keep touching my face. I bought this, I think, totally impulsively. It's cute, but I don't really see myself stitching it. It says, there was an owl who lived in an oak. The more he heard, the less he spoke. The more he spoke, the more he heard. Oh, if men were like that wise bird. And I think I bought it for the sentiment. Does anyone else do that? I bought it for the sentiment. Because now that I'm looking at it, these are things I'm already stitching in my big anaphora screw. So I don't know why I would do this little smaller piece. But, you know. Throwing things on the bed. What do we have next? This was my birthday gift from my husband. One of my birthday gifts. I don't know how he knew that I wanted it. It is Elizabeth's Needlework Designs Antique Celtic Sampler. Here There Be Monsters. I adore this. The reason this caught my eye was that there are 3 fish down here. And I have 3 kids. So this is actually our family portrait. Here's my 3 kids. This is me. This, oop, that's not anything. This is my husband. You know? I did check out I think it's charted in, I don't know, you don't even care, do you? Weeks Dye Works, and I wasn't, like, super impressed. I mean, I don't know. I wasn't wanting to spend $30 on floss for this little project. I'll just put it that way. So I ended up over-dyeing my own, and I over-dyed my own fabric. The floss was incredibly easy. If you want to play around with floss over-dyeing, it was like a piece of cake. It was really fun. So basically, all that I did to over-dye the floss is I looked for the lightest color that the floss was supposed to be. So the lightest in the variation, that's what color DMC I bought. And then I kept it in the skein and pulled off one of the labels so it would stay together. I got a Tupperware container and put in whatever color I wanted it to vary to. You just dunk it in however far you want the variation to go up. Check it. Redunk it, let it sit there, do whatever you want. It was so easy, and I'm loving how the colors come out. I'm trying to organize this. Here's some of my colors. I think they came out great. This one's my favorite. It's not, it wants to focus on my face. they turned out great. If you want to mess around with over-dyeing floss, I couldn't recommend it enough because it was fun. The fabric, not so fun, but I won't go into that. Long story short, I'm never using Rit crystals again because no matter what I do, no matter what I did, I couldn't get them all to dissolve. Well, they all dissolved, except the hot pink, you know, the red ones. That was fun. So 6 pieces of floss, 6 pieces of fabric later, I had a piece that I might be able to work with. Not doing it again. Lesson learned. Use the liquid dye. Use the liquid dye, people. I don't know, like, do those go bad? Was my Joann's selling some sort of ancient meteorite Rit crystals or what? Because it was really bad. I boiled the water, I whipped the water, I talked to the water, I strained the water by hand, by eye. I could not get the stupid red crystals to dissolve. Is there an incantation that I need? I don't know. So here's what I have. I have more progress over here, but I'm just not taking this off. This is me. Thinking back on it, I wish I would have like given myself some toenail polish because that would have looked great. For my fish, I have 2 girls and a boy, so I'm going to put like eyelashes on these 2. Right. That's Here There Be Monsters. I'm not going to throw that. Okay. I won Chris's giveaway. What? I won Chris's giveaway. I was super happy because I knew what she was going to send me. She said it was a surprise, but I knew what it would be because she's the fabric queen of Flosstube, if you don't know. So she was so sweet and she sent me all of these. Yay! Okay, this is me, this is me, this is me, and I really think she sent this to me as a challenge. I'll show it to you in a second, but I did want to show you this. This is called Damask Ada, and I don't know if this is going to come across on camera. It probably won't. But every other square has like a sheen to it. Oh, anyway, forget that. My camera's not going to cooperate, but look at this crazy fabric. This is called Odyssey by Silk Weaver. Oh my gosh. What? I love it. I don't know what you stitch on this. So I think one of those bothy patterns would look cute. I've never been really drawn to those. Like a silhouette pattern? I don't know. Any suggestions? This is like a challenge to me. I want to use it. I really have to spend hours on 1, 2, 3 stitch. That's what I have to do. Challenge accepted. She also sent me a bunch of Mo Sale because she's an angel. And she sent me, look how cute this is. Look at this tag. It's an S for my name. Water bomb. We took another break. I was showing you my needle minders from Chris, which she made herself. Sparkly, adorable. Look at this tag. I love it so much. She also sent me a Harry Potter crest needle minder for Hufflepuff. And I love it. Thank you so much, Chris. That was so generous. I'm gonna have so much fun. My next whip is Giant Harry Potter. There it is. I am almost halfway done with this. What? I don't know. Here's where I am. I just realized I don't do any fabric notes. Are those important? I'm doing this on 32 count light blue Lugana by Witchcraft. Here it is. I'm excited. My favorite part so far is the car and this glass of butterbeer. There's a lot of cute stuff in this pattern, but I will say, I think it's boring. I don't want to complain. It's adorable. I love it. I don't love stitching on it. I don't know. These people are boring. They're boring. You would think that one of these would take you half an hour. No. They take me over an hour to do each one. So. Giant Harry Potter. It's adorable but boring. Alright, so that's Giant Harry Potter, as I just said 7 times in a row. Those are all my whips. Yes, those are all my whips. I have one last stash acquisition to share with you, given to me by an angel. I had been looking for a pattern by Julia Line, and I gave up. Why? The pattern was in a book in French called what? L'Abri Dino. I don't know. Okay? Book in French. It has 10 patterns in it. It is out of print. So, I emailed Julia Line, and she said, well, the only way you can get any of those patterns is to get the book. And they are rarer than hen's teeth. So that sounded super hopeful. So, I did ask around, but then I gave up. And then an angel messaged me on Facebook and said he would sell me the pattern that I wanted, which is the cover pattern. Can you see why I wanted it? The bunnies. The bunnies. Isn't this cute? I didn't even know that this was a Noah's Ark pattern. It is. It says the animals went in 2 by 2. Duh. But there are so many cute motifs in here. There's foxes and goats and lots of bunnies sailing a ship. So, yeah. So this angel sent me, broke up his out-of-print book, which is probably worth $200, and sent me the pattern, which looks like that. What? Yes, yes. I really like this one because unlike other Long Dog sampler patterns, it's relatively small. It's 210 by 260. So it's a good size, but it's super adorable. And I cannot wait to stitch it. And I just want to thank my cross-stitch guardian angel for being so sweet. It came on my birthday. It came in my mail on my birthday too. So, I mean, I made it through my pile. I also promised you a giveaway. I have an extra copy of Andora Screw by Rosewood Manor that I would love to send to one of you. So, here's the dealio. Don't put the words giveaway down below. Don't put enter me or any such nonsense. I would just like the word pork chop. You heard me. Put something about a pork chop down below and try to make it seem natural. And by that, I will know that you would like this pattern sent to you, that you're 18 or older, that you have your parents' permission if you're under 18, that you're going to give me your address and trust that I'm not going to stalk you. And I will do the drawing on the date listed on the screen. And I'll send you your own forest building pattern, courtesy of my business, Lindy Stitches. I have not been doing a lot of pattern writing for my business lately due to hard life circumstances, and I just got back into it. Thank you to all of you who left hilarious comments on my Instagram feed. I sent out my last newsletter with a Vote for Pedro Napoleon Dynamite pattern in it, and people were cracking me up. You must watch that movie just as much as I do, because oh my goodness. Cowgirl Kate. Oh my goodness. Yeah. The comments were worth every minute of the last 3 crazy months. But yeah, I have been re-inspired by those comments, and I'm working on a sampler for Napoleon Dynamite. I shouldn't have just told you that, because now I have to really follow through. But hey, it's gonna be great. I'm having so much fun. So far, I have written up Uncle Rico's van, a tube of chapstick, a tasty bass, and some tots. So I'm having fun. If you'd like to sign up for my newsletter, the link is down below. I do send out a free pattern with every newsletter. I am blowing out my needle minders. I'm done making needle minders. I have Star Wars and Jane Austen and cats and Harry Potter. So if you'd like one for $2.99, head on over to my shop and check them out. I will see you guys on Instagram. Happy stitching. Happy fall. Bye. Welcome to After Hours with Steph. I'll be your host. I'm Steph. Looks like I'm being interrogated. Hi guys. I didn't do it. I need some help. Those of you who use a DSLR, how do you get it to focus? How do you get it to be high quality? I need some help. In editing what I recorded before, I realized it's garbage. So, I need the tricks and the tips and the voodoo that you do. I have a fast memory card. I have it on the highest setting. I'm using live face focus, but didn't seem to do much for me. So, any help out? Is there any help out there in the universe? I had a gyro for dinner. You know, fried lamb's meat. That was a huge mistake, and I really regret it. And here end my confessions. Oh, also, I have to add. Seriously, have you seen Turkey Bay by Plum Street Samplers? Have you seen it? Because I have a wound in my heart from the cuteness of that pattern. If you haven't seen it and you don't want to spend money, don't look at it. Don't look at it. Turkey Bay by Plum Street Samplers. The turkeys are floating in the water. The turkeys are floating in the water. So cute.